Well, good morning, Mr. Roy.
Good morning.
I think I'm wanting to go long, especially if we test VWAP again. You got CBD at plus 1400. Only concern here is Tide is giving us a little bit of mixed
Little
signal.
weakness.
Yeah.
General market doesn't look too bad. Let me flip over to that. So this is your SPY tide, which is giving us a little bit of mixed. General market is pushing higher, but your SPY one, your volume did go red and it did pounce up. So if you're looking for an optimistic view, it did not continue red. It did bounce off of the red um, volume there. So that's
Yeah.
what we're looking at. Oh, and she
And
going.
there. Iran has announced they are ready for indirect nuclear talks with the U.S.
Okay.
So there's that to start the morning.
We are just on a ripper.
Yeah. Yeah.
Previous candle was nice. You
Yeah.
had that wick down to VWAP. Um,
Yeah. Yeah. Change my anchored view up here. Whoa. 42 is anchored VWAP. That's interesting.
orb high 5350. Looks like we're about to come and take it.
Yeah, the problem today is with your orb is going to be pretty big.
Oh yeah, 40-point orb.
Yeah, that's ugly.
Hey, you might as well just throw it out
CBD is
there, to be honest.
plus 2,800 now.
Yeah, beautiful move up on Liberation Day.
Oh, I should have waited. I should have waited there, Roy. I jumped in. I did something I hadn't been doing. I was going to put my order in and I was going to pull it down to the 200. And it failed before I could move it. So that's not what we wanted. But Tide is ripping. CBD is still 27, 2,800 hanging around there. So you got volume ripping up with the call premiums. So this might be a VWAP test and a bounce.
Yeah, you get that wick up there. You'd want to see it come back and fill that wick.
Well, kind of our pattern has been early is it's been filling the wicks. So
Yeah.
let's see if that can continue here and we can get us a breakout. That would be lovely. Lovely.
Stay above the 200. Just stay above 200 for us. I did not
200 is
continue in that trade, so I'm still waiting for an entry.
need to reclaim this orb here, then take it higher. There we go. Let's run this.
There we go.
Break it up. Break it up. Break it up. CBD is positive 3,000.
Yeah, you're seeing Tide really not slowing down. So that's good. Just
That part. Volume ticked down a slight little bit.
Just a hair. It hurt me.
Yeah. The jinx is still alive and well. Good to know.
Still going.
Yeah.
Yeah, just hold this orb high. Tried to fill that wick. The last 30 seconds of this candle, though, could really tell us.
Yeah. You look at that 10-minute, it's not bad looking, though. It actually looks pretty good.
All of Mag 7 is on the verge of being green. Meta is green. Every one of them is down less than $1 except Tesla, which is down $6. Oh, they had delivery numbers today, didn't they?
Do they? We almost filled that wick back up. Let's see if we can break above that wick. Now, if we can break above it, I feel a little better about my play here. CVD is plus 3,200 now. Might have a little retest and a bounce back up here would be perfect. We just don't need any stupid tariff news right now. You are getting a pullback in call premiums, but your put premiums are coming back too. So, what to do? We need to break above that high there. Break above that high. We could go to that high, that zone there, and then I wouldn't be surprised if it takes that market high, that market we had up here. I got my order right below it.
Microsoft has gone green. Oh, went green for a second.
You got to stop this jinx, bro. So you had a moment there where you had it slip down. It actually went right back up. Look at those. Look at that.
Wow.
That is crazy. So we're still holding. Michael asked this tariff result. I don't think so yet.
Yeah, 4 or 3 p.m. today. He's supposed to talk. 3 p.m. Eastern, so 2 p.m. Central.
I thought it was 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. I thought he was talking after market close.
That's what I thought, and then I looked at Top Steps thing. Oh, they updated it. Last night it was at 3 p.m. Eastern.
Okay.
They've updated it to 4 p.m. Eastern. So 4 p.m. Eastern today.
Yeah.
So we got to go through the whole market session.
So what you don't need is the press secretary throwing some shit out there early.
Yeah.
Which when she normally talks, 10 o'clock around that range, time frame?
11 to noon.
11. So we got to watch that. CVD is plus 43, 42, 4,300.
I got to show Tide. I mean, Tide is just going unhinged right now.
That's why I'm not hating my trade right now.
Yeah, you're getting a nice push up.
Like I said, if we can get this break here of this high, this zone, I feel pretty good about hitting that $400 discount. But y'all, you guys know what I'm going to do. I'm going to wait till this candle closes. Then we're going to update our stop loss here. I think I might leave it there for a minute. I don't know. CVD's come back to 39, almost 4,000. So I'm not loving that. We are getting a little break here in Tide.
Mm-hmm.
A little pullback in Tide. I'm not loving. Those put premiums are still shit. What do they turn here? That's the question. Volume's coming back some. Need that volume to hold.
Retested the 200.
Yeah, I'm hoping this 200 holds. And then we get the ripple back up. But, with these call premiums coming back in this volume, but the put premiums are just tanking. That is crazy what we're seeing right this second. So, your 200 is not going to hold. Is it not? You're going to toy with me? We got 50 seconds left in this candle. We've been seeing some strength on the back end of these candles. So let's see if we can see this strength again on the back end of this candle. Not yet. 3,700 CVD is creeping back a little bit, but you're Tide. Bro, I don't make it make sense. Why is our calls and put premiums running together now?
Right.
And volume's still coming back a little bit. I don't like that volume. I don't know. It's 3,900 CVD again. It's kind of creeping back up slowly, and that's back to 38, to 37. 200, in fact, did not hold. They have cut a hole in the razor wire, turned the electricity off, bar the doors. Let's see if we can reclaim it here. If it holds as resistance now, we got troubles, boys and girls. We got troubles. It's not getting a great reaction off the VWAP that I was wanting so far. There's a little bit of it. Now we need to rush this son of a gun all the way back up. What we need to do. I think that was your entry there, to be honest with you. But
yeah, I got a little bit different VWAP on Trading View than on Top Step, which is
they are different sometimes. There's no doubt.
Yeah, so I have VWAP at 44.75. Yeah.
Yeah, I got it 2 points lower. I got it 45.35 on my Trading View. This is not good candle here, though. Those damn puts ripping is the problem.
No, and that on a 5 minute looks like a textbook candle by candle to the short side.
I got a long time on this 10-minute candle here.
Mm-hmm.
We shall see, Mr. Roy. We shall see.
They got the 200 on the 10 minute.
200 on the 10 minute, yeah. That's where we came down, where we're testing. Longer time frames are going to be a better spot to watch for sure. But let's see what we can do here. Can you rip up? Can you go down? Can you please just rip up? Just go up. Just go up. Just rip up. Go past this orb high and just rip. Y'all know that Iran wanting to talk this nuclear deal with the U.S. That's a good thing for everybody, which technically is a good thing for everybody.
Yeah.
CBD's back to 4,200 now. You got your call premiums are ripping. Your volume is going back up, but your put premium's going up with it. So, which could be hedging, could be a lot of different things going on there. I just need to break that orb, go up, and then we'll have a good day on Take Profit Trader anyway. Because we got a little better entry on Take Profit Trader, but it's not cooperating. Oh, look at these calls. What are you doing? What are you doing here, folks? Rip this bitch up. You got CBD holding 4,300. It's not going above it, which I don't love. But Tide is saying that we're fixing to get a ripper. But we know Tide is not always right. So we can't just depend on Tide. We need that 200 to turn back into support now and to rip off that 200. That would be the perfect play.
Mm-hmm.
Good morning, everybody that's here. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day already. We are having a so-so day so far. Nothing crazy, but nothing horrible either yet. All this stuff, and we're just down $50. But it can't break above that damn my entry resistance. Hey, you don't ever want to see that. You don't want
you don't.
Resistance. Support's okay. Resistance sucks. And I can't take it off the screen, so there's that.
Well, you could. You just don't want to.
Well, if I do, I'm out of my trade. So. Oh, you son of a gun. I just don't get it why we're not ripping up with this. CBD's 42. It keeps coming back a little. It gets to 43. Then it comes back to 42 and the 41s. And it comes back to 43. Now it's back in the 41s. Now it's back to 4,000. 3,900. won't like that. But then it bounces on it. Now we're back to 3,900. Break my damn resistance level.
Oh, wow.
All right. So we are now up about 200 bucks in take profit trader now. I'm still in half my position. So if we can hit 56.60, that will get me out at about 300 bucks on the day on them, which would be fan-fucking-tastic. Oh, you're so close. Go to your home. We can actually go. Probably need to. Oh, well, never mind. It took me out. So 290 in 4 counts. So guess what that means? One side, I've already hit my $1,000 goal. We're going to have to readjust this goal the more counts we get. There's no doubt there. All right. This trade will not turn back red on me again. And we'll look for re-entry if it comes back. But I'm not letting it turn red again. Not after that shit. But if we can break the zone here, I got a good feeling we're going to hit this damn take profit up here. But it's got to break that zone. CVD is 5,500.
Push up.
How about a pop on that? So, bright side is take profit trader is dead for the day. No more of them. I can concentrate on my other shit. Roy, I've got a damn trading view. I got a fair value gap I drew.
Mm-hmm.
That is still playing out.
$200 on next up there.
And it is, the top of it is at 56.80.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Whoa, man, look at that.
Yeah, we're guaranteed a $200 day. That's 400 bucks
I got
more
mine
there.
on.
So we're guaranteed about 1,500 bucks on the day. I don't know if I would call it here or what I would do here, but 5,800, 5,900 CVD.
Apple green, Microsoft green, Amazon green, Meta green.
U.S. factory orders. Forgot that was coming out month over month. 0.6. They actually went up. Forecast 0.5, there's 1.7. So they beat forecast. They did not beat previous. What the hell? How did I forget that was coming up? What the fuck? I'm glad you found me.
I was in the trade too, man. Oh, man. That's funny.
U.S. has new Russia-related sanctions. Imagine that. I'm guaranteed 300 bucks now. So if it takes me out, if it hits my stop, I'm fine. It's going to hit my stop. There's 302 bucks 55 cents. So boom, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
So what are your balances at?
This balance, this is the one that actually, so a little backstory on this account. Let's just show the history of this one. This one is not as pretty as the other one, but by God, we have worked this thing all the way back up. So first day I got it. Well, you see this month. We're already $1,000 almost for the week, so that's fucking fantastic. First day, I took 2 trades actually. I went negative, then I got $6.90 back. I liked the account, $6.90. Second day, I started to go on tilt, and I stopped myself. 3 trades, I stopped myself. That's a big key there. I stopped myself. I did not wreck this account. So when I got done here, I had $700 left drawdown. 252, 312, 302, 205, 212, 206, 202, 309, 307, 210, 205, 227, 402, 302. Now we are 2345, 2346 up on this account. This account, we took a payout. We took it back to 21. We are now $1,000 back up, 3113. We can take a payout on this one again Friday with 2 more green days, which my goal is to get $400 or $500 more and then take $1,500 out on Friday would be my goal on that one. And then if we can get that, this will put this one at roughly around 3,000. I'd probably take 1,000 out on this one, so that'd give me $2,500 payday. That would put our payday to March to right at $5,000 total. We're starting to cook, boys and girls. We're starting to cook.
Starting to cook slowly but surely. We're simmering.
We're simmering. Still, I don't like that one. I like that one. That's a pretty chart right there.
Yeah.
That's a pretty chart.
Well, I got my 200 on my XFA. I'm now in payout status. That account's at $1,300 though, so I'll probably keep just chipping away at it. I've got 3 take profit trader tests going, plus 200, plus 350, plus 300 today. Those are all now roughly about $900 away from passing. This is my third day. So now we got 2 more days to trade. I can be patient. Something obvious comes up here, I can trade it, but not in a hurry. Not with Liberation Day. Not with all this nonsense.
Yeah, I had to ask what the hell Liberation Day was. And then he said it was Trump Tariff Day, and I was like, all right, well, nobody gives a shit. I don't give a shit. Look, I'm going to tell you guys, I am over the tariff shit. I am over the tariff shit. I am tired of it. I know we got to pay attention to it. But
yeah, no, I think everybody's a little exhausted with it all. Just want to know what it is, how we can adjust and move forward.
I do want to know what it is and how it's going to adjust, but I'm tired of it being the talking point on everything. So now we're $1,500 away from passing this account, and we are $1,500 roughly away from passing this account. So we've got a couple of combines to trade. I don't have any more take profit traders to trade because guess what? We're at the full 5. We got 5 pro accounts, and they are all, every one of them, well, except one. One is not active yet. I'll explain that later. But the others are all, 3 of the 4 are at payout status, good payout status, and then we're right at $300, and the 4th one in payout status. So yeah, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. One thing about Take Profit Trader, once you get to a pro account, once you get above your buffer, you can take daily payouts. That is a big thing in the prop firm world, boys and girls. That is, I'm gonna be honest with you. That's what makes them neck and neck with Top Step. Man,
Mm-hmm.
I go back and forth daily on which one I like better. I think it's Top Step just because we have Top Step X, and I really like Top Step X. I love trading off
Great
Top Step
platform.
X.
Very good platform.
Which Top Step X is a part of Project X. I don't know if you know what Project X. This is a standalone platform that you can get with other firms. I'm not sure. I looked to the list the other day and I forgot who all was in it. Of course, Take Profit Trader is not in it, one of the ones, but it's got a few that you could try. That they are affiliated with prop firms. You can use their service. And from my understanding, Roy, they are going to here soon make this a standalone platform that you can trade your personal.
Oh,
Yeah, that's a game changer right there, I think. This is, everybody's like, well, if you like this, you like Trading View. No, Trading Views, they don't have the DOM setup that you have here. They don't have the features. They have more indicators, but it's harder to trade in Trading View compared to Top Step X, in my opinion. Just my simple thought process.
All Mag 7 went red again.
Yeah, something's a brewing. Something's a brewing, and I don't know what's a brewing yet. So
you got puts are rising across the 0 line. Calls are dropping. The volume has dropped off a little bit as well. That's SPY. Here's your general market. Similar story. That's what made that trade so good. Is both SPY and general market were in line on that long. And as you can see, we didn't get married to the play, right? We moved our stops up. You can push your chips in without having to be too risky, right? If we wouldn't have, we'd be right back to where we entered, right? And we'd have missed all that profit. So,
and well, here's another thing. I don't know if anybody's paid attention the last couple of days, but where my stop hit, I about top ticked this fucker again. My stop hit like right here. So
yeah, I know why. I know why it hit there, and it's because this little purple line right there, and why you put your stop there. You aligned it with the.
So everybody watching this get to see me go off on Roy because that if you just look left here, look at this line here where I took profit. Let's just break these down a little bit. That stupid indicator was not there the whole time. But what have you seen about this line? Support, resistance, 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 resistance. We have not got a clean break above this line really where any move after it. So that's why that line held. All right, I'm gonna take a break real quick because Roy's pissed me off. I'll be back in 2 minutes. Roy, talk about your stupid averages you use and all that shit now while I'm away.
I'll go through some Mag 7 charts for us, and we'll take a look. As you can see, ES came up, tested that line. I actually this morning I didn't draw a new zone. I kept the zone from yesterday because it was just so close and it did hold up very well overnight. So I kept my old zone. So if you see my zone is different from Monty's, that's why. You have VWAP again. You had another retest of VWAP. You are holding above it. You have this 8 ribbon curling up. This is the 10-minute chart, and then you have the 200 holding up. So you have a lot of to get through here in this 5650, 5642 range. And not a surprise that we, are wicking right off of it. As we go through the charts, Apple pushing higher, had a wick up, and then kind of came down again, similar to ES, wicked off of the VWAP there. Pushing higher, looks like it wants to go green, about 14 cents away. NVIDIA had resistance at 109.60-ish. Couldn't quite break 110. Nice wick here. Looks like it wants to push higher. Microsoft, same story, was green, kind of broke down. Looks like it's wicking off of the 200 on the 10, but can't quite break above the 50 in the VWAP there. So keep an eye on Microsoft. Google, not a good start. Up, down, basically doing the exact same thing as Microsoft. Amazon had a nice push up, reversal. It's now wicking off, looking like the ES chart again. Meta, same story. Tesla had delivery numbers this morning, I believe. I need to look that up while we go. So we switch back to ES. You see you're still holding above this kind of cluster of support. So if you want to go short, you have to let it break through all that cluster. If you want to go long, you want to see this candle close with that nice wick and then a continuation, potentially to break this zone. But this is kind of, if you want to be risky, you can enter along here, put your stop below VWAP, give yourself about a 10-point stop. That's a lot if you're playing with ES, but if you're playing with MES, it's not so bad. Scrolling down here, we look at Bitcoin, 85,000, spiked all the way up to 86, kind of came down, just kind of hanging out now. Solana cannot get any momentum going. It's at 123. Just the meme games are just on the back burner for a lot of people, so not a lot going on. TLT is an interesting one. If you guys don't know this, TLT is bonds. So this is kind of a flight to safety trade. People exit the market, enter the bond market to lock in good rates. The TLT is a measurement of demand in the bond market. So 90 197. Let's call it 92. 92 has been kind of the magic number for it. It can't quite break the resistance. When you're looking at TLT, you got to look at a daily chart. You can't really look at a 5-minute or any of that. But you can see 92, resistance, resistance, and now here we are again, and it's resisting. So if it can break past 92, it can run up to 94. That doesn't sound like a lot, but in the bonds and then options on bonds, that is a lot. That is a big move. Going to gold, daily chart, gold just going straight up. Again, another kind of flight to safety trade. So what does that tell me? It tells me that risk off in the market currently is people are not willing to take as much risk into the market. However, you get a story like Newsmax, and that kind of changes that perception a bit. SPX, same as ES. Kind of odd, right? It's not odd that VWAP and all this stuff is surrounded around 5,600 on SPX. So there's your key level for the day on SPX. Break under SPX, probably going to go down, retest the lows, hold over 5,600, probably push up and break out from yesterday's highs. Qs, wicking off of VWAP here, pushing higher. SPY, about to test 560. It's 559.60. IWM looks like it wants to test 200, 199.30. Can you believe that? IWM's under 200? I don't know if you've been following that, Monty.
Yeah, I still follow some, yes. And I can believe that because, it's just a little engine could.
Yeah. Micron 87, Intel 22, Palantir up 1.4%, up to almost $86 again. AMD
Still one of my greatest trades
ever. That was a good one. AMD 103. The reason why I like the Palantir trade, if you go back for a minute, is you entered it at a level that we charted out. It took probably 2 weeks to get there. Got down to the level. You bought, did great. Pushes up. You sell a little bit on earnings, pop, and then you wrote options. So you utilize that side of things to get out of your remaining position. I mean,
to everybody's, if anybody's wondering, I wrote options. My options got called, exercised. Mm-hmm. And as soon as they got exercised, the damn thing tanked.
Yeah.
So I had 1 day of regret. 1 day of regret. And it went really quickly. Once it broke below 106, I think me and Roy, you couldn't wipe the smile off either one of our faces there when it came back below 106. Like, yeah, that shit worked out.
Yeah, no, that was a fun one. So getting back to ES, you're getting this push up off of VWAP and all that support down there. So
yeah, I do want to show something real quick. I do have Bookmap up. And you can see around that 75 area, you got 849 orders sitting up there, 851. Those are not mostly algos. Mm-hmm. So the odds of this thing going up there they're pretty damn good, to be honest with you. I was out, taking a break from Roy. So I didn't get my play here that I wanted to get, but it's okay. It's fine, which I would be really sitting well on this combine right now if I would have, but we're not chasing, we're not doing stupid stuff. And we don't even have to fund these in the next couple of days. We can take it. We've got probably 20 days left on. We got to down pay again. So I don't have to be in any rush on them. Of course, it gets up to the top of our zone there. Look, we struggle there. Anybody that ever questions our zone is like, hey, do these make sense? They make sense. They make sense. They work out. It's I think I said it yesterday. We overcomplicate this shit so much when if you look here, it's a simple zone that, well, look at the bottom of the zone. Held like a champ. Mm-hmm. Anybody that doesn't know, this bottom of the zone was drawn off this candle here. Well, where did we tick at? We tick right to it and then ripped up. Of course, my rule is you can't take longs below VWAP. So we waited till we got back up, retest. We took it. We got in early. Should have waited for this retest all the way back, but we didn't. But we still made money on it. So hey, you know what? It worked out. We had a fantastic day so far. We're about $1,700 up, I think, or so. $1,800. I mean, that's cash money. That's not bullshit. That's money we can put in the take a payout on. So,
Yep.
And for everybody wondering, the streak is alive. Roy's tried to do his best college coach impersonation this morning and say, "Hey, no streak. I'll tell you 0-0. Look at you go, Nick Saban." But we got it. We closed out Take Profit Trader right at $300 in 4 accounts. That's about $1,200. It was a little over $1,100. It was $290. We got that. We got $300 in per account here in Top Step. What else can you do for a day, right? What else can you do?
It's been a good day. These are some days.
Just have a day. We've had a day.
Have a day. These are certain days where we may call it early just because we don't want to push anything. I know he's got a few combines he's looking to trade, so we're just keeping an eye on it. So if you have any questions or anything like that, any of the couple people that are chatting, post them away. We can answer them, and we'll stick around as long as we can see potential of a play coming in.
So I got to tell you something while we're at it. So there was a guy shared a thing. It was a podcast, and they're interviewing a guy, and he goes to these countries after a terrorist attack. And they're like, "Whoa, you go to a country after a terrorist attack?" Like, absolutely. He said he went to Istanbul after the airport bombing. He stayed in a $300 a night hotel for $30.
Wow.
He got a flight over there for like $200 round trip. He took a tour. He was the only person on the bus that's usually packed out. It was him and the driver, and that's it. He got the whole bus tour by himself, personalized bus tour. He went to, I think it was Romania or somewhere where 2 girls were beheaded.
Yeah.
He went there, the same thing. I think it was Peru where it was. And he round trip ticket from America to Peru for $280. Once again, stayed like $20-$30 a night in a 5-star hotel. And said actually got to walk the path where the girls got beheaded at. Because guess what? There's added security everywhere you go.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know if this guy is crazy or if he's a genius, because we know it's a fine line right there, right?
Very much
but so. I'm thinking, like, he makes some valid points on why you would go to these places after the terrorist attack. Then he talked about going somewhere else. And they were like, "Well, what happened there?" He's like, "Hell, I think it was an earthquake or something." So it was a little different, but still got the same result from it. And they're like, "I bet September 12th you were flying all over the place, wasn't you?" He's like, "Yeah, I was going places." It's just
wow.
Who would think of doing something like that?
Yeah, no, that's impressive. I'm going to be honest. Because the country doesn't cease to exist, right? And it's also not a country that. It's not like Afghanistan where you're just like itching to go tour Afghanistan.
Right.
But the media does tend to make people feel like every place that has a terrorist attack is like Afghanistan. Yeah.
So I bet you get a good trip to the Holy Land right now.
Yeah.
I still think that's one I probably don't want to go to.
No.
Well, boys and girls, we could have held this thing for as long as we wanted to, couldn't we?
Yeah. I mean, you would have taken some heat on that drop.
Well, yeah, I would have been nervous and I'd have probably panicked and got rid of it.
Yeah.
I know one thing. We've had a good day, so.
Yeah, tide's starting to get a little squiggly.
Yeah, well, it was till you right before you said that, when we started to get the puts down, calls up, volume ripping back up again. So CVD is back up to 5,300. highest it's been all day right now.
Yeah,
which is expected because we made it high. Oh, we had another perfect entry there that we did not take. We were too busy talking. So
I mean, I was mapping it out on the stream and I didn't even take it.
that's always great, isn't it?
It's like that's a pretty good long if you want to put your stop below the VWAP, and if it breaks under that on my chart, yeah, didn't do it.
Did not do it. So,
Well, that's the
we got
thing.
one person still watching today. Thank you for being here with us.
We appreciate it. I think we want to call it.
I'm actually good with calling it. We are not even going an hour. They're going 42 minutes around where we're going to stop at. But I really don't see any sense in sitting here unless you, like I said, if you guys have any questions, let's give 30 seconds for to see if they have any questions, and we can go from there. So, Emmanuel, thank you a lot. Great information. Appreciate you being here, Emmanuel.
Thanks, you, man. Yeah, we're pretty authentic and transparent. So when we have good days, we're gonna shut it down. When we have bad days, we're gonna see it, and we know ourselves that if we sit here and stare at this screen, there's a chance we could mess up a pretty good day.
Oh no, I can't mess up a good day because I got all my shit locked. So.
Oh yeah, you're locked down. So I will mess up a good day.
I've even logged off Take Profit Trader. Like I'm not even logged in at all. So.
Did you get through season 3 of White Lotus? I saw the finale.
No, I started season 3.
Okay.
And it is not as good as season 1 or 2, just so you know.
No, we got a question. Like right at the buzzer.
What is your stance on where you put your stop loss? I feel like I set mine too close. So it all depends. I always start with a $200 stop loss. And then if you would have seen what I did here, I actually moved it down below VWAP. I think I moved it to like right here when I moved it. And then at that point, that was actually right below your EMA clusters here. They actually went crazy. So I typically look to put it at levels or below key indicators like your EMAs, your VWAP, stuff like that. I don't love just a $200 stop loss or a $500 stop loss or whatever. We're trading MES here, so I can actually give it room to run. So that's why, if you notice, I had a $300 stop loss and a $400 take profit because I had it below. It was below VWAP what it was. I put it below VWAP, and if it broke VWAP, I was screwed. At this time, VWAP was still. I had it. I can't remember. I think it had to be this candle here because that was right below VWAP at the time, and then it never came back. You can see it never came back and tested that candle. Got close after we took profit, but we took a little heat here, right? We got in, took some heat, but then this ripper back up is what got us out. And the reason I didn't panic and drop out of it earlier, I was looking at Tide, I was looking at Bookmount. Both of them were saying that we were going to pop back up. So I felt comfortable keeping my stop a little lower. And it just depends on what you do. You could have moved your stop below the 50 here, and then you could let it just play out, give it plenty of room to run. The fewer MES you take, the more room you can let it run, and the more room for error you have to take some heat on it and still be right. I did rush in the trade a slight bit. I think I got in like right here, and then because that ended up being damn resistance for so long. So yeah, my stop, it moves. It's not always the same. I have it set on top stop as $200 on my brackets. Then I adjust it to where I think we could go. It could have been like you could have played a level right here. See this bottom level here, and you can see. Well, look how it was support, and then turn resistance, broke through it. So you would think that this would probably hold as support. So this would be a good spot to put it. On this move up here, this would have been a good stop. Like if the entry here, this would be my stop. It just depends on where I'm at and what I'm doing. But those are two really solid levels. You can look at this level. Support, broke down, resistance, a little resistance here, came down, support, and bounced back up. Hope that explains what I do a good job explaining what I look at. I look at a lot of different things, so it's not just one certain thing that I look at.
Yeah, if you're an options trader, I would recommend you doing exactly this, but right, enter the trade as if to practice, right, to get your stops. Let's say you only have, I said he had a $200 stop. Well, buy $200 worth of options. Okay, so you have a built-in stop that you can only lose $200, and then try and practice your way of stopping out under the indicators and stuff on the chart. Not necessarily putting a hard stop in the trade, because with options you already have a built-in stop. I know a lot of people here trade options. Futures, you don't have a built-in stop. You can infinitely go red, so you have to put something in there to protect yourself. But just like you said, I'm guilty of it too. My take profits are too soon. My stops can be a little aggressive, especially when I'm in a winning trade. I may trail it up a little tight than I should. But it's all about kind of finding your own groove. At the end of the day, you're gonna win some, you're gonna lose some. It's how if you put your take profit at $100, but then you let your stop hit $500, you're gonna be on tilt all day.
So he just asked again, so do you move your stop to lock in profit? So yeah, I don't know if you was watching when I did that trade, but as soon as we kind of broke back up above this level, I want to move my stop to break even, actually a little green. And then once he got up here and I knew this was a spot, right? I knew this was a spot where it could come back at, I moved it even tighter. So I wanted to make sure I had $300. Look at this thing rip up. My God. That entry right there, Roy, would have been so beautiful.
Yeah.
That's 22 points so far off that, 24 points off that move there. So yeah, I do trail it up. If I go into profits, I will move it and then I will get it tighter because I want to make sure I get the most out of it. Does it backfire me sometimes? Yes. Like right now, I would have took heat back here, but I never would have really took any negative heat a ton, right? Never got stopped out of it. If I'd left my stop in my original spot. But when you see a candle like this big red candle, we have fake outs all the time in the market. And CVD and Bookmap was kind of saying, CVD and Tide was kind of saying, hey, you got a little pullback, but it's not extreme. You might not have panicked if I was reading that at the time, but just looking at this right here, I would have cut it back off. So, yeah, I love to trail a stop. There's nothing better when you keep moving that damn trail up and that damn thing keeps going.
Mm-hmm.
That might be, I'm going to be honest, that might be just as good as your endorphins kick in and you're like, shit, I can't go wrong now. And you just keep moving that stop up, that damn thing keeps ripping, and you're like, woo.
Yeah.
And that's kind of, we've talked about it, Maple Stacks. I'm kind of pissed at Maple Stacks now because he's promoting Apex. I think he's selling out because the only reason you promote Apex is because you're making money off of them.
Yeah.
That's my 2 cents. But if you follow Maple Stacks, he will actually say you can't do it here because we don't have the 10-minute. You can look at it 15-minute. But you would actually trail, like when this candle closed, you'd move your stop to here, whatever the bottom of this candle is. And then when that candle closed, you'd move your stop to the bottom of that candle. And you trail up that way. And what you see a lot of times is it would have hit here, but look at what you could have made off the rest of it when you entered. So there's different ways to do your stops. And to be honest with you, I change it up a lot. I don't always do the same stop every time. But one thing you will see me do every time is trail that bitch up. That is something that we have gotten what we do, and it pays off. So I can't say that it's wrong. Are you still taking profits early? You are, but you're not taking profits as early as if you just said, like, hey, I just want to make $200, get out, right? I've done that. When I get a count low, I'll just start hitting $200 base hits. Boom, boom, boom. $200 is, as hard as it sounds like it is, it's actually really easy to do if you follow your system. And I saw Rips. He had a tweet yesterday, and it kind of sit home with me. And I was like, you know what? A lot of people get Rip shit, and I get Rip shit too now because he promotes everything but Top Step. I guess him and Top Step end up having a spat, but that is neither here nor there. But he said, was talking about strategies. And it's like, hey, don't follow my strategy. Don't follow a Furu strategy. Take what works from everybody and make it your own strategy.
Yeah.
Because if you don't own it, you won't go by it. But if you own it and it's yours, by God, you're going. I mean, I give myself and Roy credit here. We built this strategy we're using now, and we stick to it.
Yeah.
There's no in between on it. We don't. Yeah, I got in a little early. Should have waited a little bit. A little bit of FOMO kicked in. I got in. It worked out. Won't recommend any FOMO ever. But that trade, I would take 9 out of 10 times that I took. The only time I wouldn't have taken it was when I would have hesitated on it. And I kind of pride myself here lately. I don't hesitate much on entering trades. Map it out, plan it out. That's the thing that gets me. I always never understood when people would say, hey, plan your trade. You're like, how can you plan your trade here on futures? You can plan it more on options than you can futures. But by planning your trade, what it means to me now is, hey, this is your strategy. Follow your strategy. Don't hesitate on your strategy. When you see what you got, take it, live by it, die by it, whatever happens, set your stop, and then go from there. And then you can see the last, how many days? How many days is it, Roy? Let's see how many days it is.
20?
We're getting up there now. I don't want to jinx myself here, but let's see. Here is 3, 6, 11, 12, 13, 14 days. 14 days. Last 14 days, you can see we've been hitting base hits. We're not being greedy. But if you notice this, every one of these I've hit at least $200 on. Every single one of them. And then yesterday you had a little better day. Today was not as good as yesterday, but still a very good day. That's because my stop hit. If I make anything over about $200 to $500, what I'm looking for, whenever I get above that $200, I'm on most likely lock that account up for the day and not trade it anymore. Just because, I mean, why would you risk this? I could have taken a few more trades here, but I would put more risk on and more headache and more stress on myself than it's needed, right? I had a $1,700 day. I don't know about you guys, but I don't think I've ever had a job where I made $1,700 in a day.
Yeah.
You had everything up yesterday was like a $3,000 day. Like, you don't do that anywhere else. And if y'all notice this one, I never stressed today. Like I told y'all yesterday, I felt a little something on this one. I didn't feel as much on it today. And I don't know why that was. Maybe because I just didn't think about it. I don't know. But I hit my strategy. I made my trade. I won my trade. I called it a day. I'm done. Look at this. Roy remembers this. Remember me holding a trade for like 2 hours? Ah, it was brutal. But notice what you see. My losing trades, they're not really that long. The longest one is 5 to 10 minutes. My winning trades, 45 seconds to a minute. Those are fabulous. When you hit that's where I get 200. Call it, yeah. But 1 minute, 2 minute, that's where it's 200 to 300 probably. These I probably held too long where they got I'm gonna say these probably went green and came back red on me. Right? This holding for 10 minutes to 30 minutes at 85% win rate is pretty good. Holding for 2 hours, 2 hours. I know it's been at least 2 trades that I did that. And if I was not trading MES, if I was trading ES, I couldn't have done these trades and I couldn't have these hold times.
Yeah.
So Let's see what we're at on our. We're still the same on here. Our profit factors actually went up, so it's a 2.0%, 2.0 profit factor. So I'm doubled my profit to my losses. That's fantastic, right? That's 200%, folks. That's not. You look at two, but you move that through. That's 200% profit. So I'm up 200% on where I should be. 100% winning days on this account. This is what I really like this too. My best day is only 11% of my total. So it means I'm not really doing anything crazy. So, and this is the first time I ever think this from Coach D. Your overall P&L is 36,1383. Keep up the good work. Usually he'll say that. Like, hey, why don't you look at trading something different or something?
Yeah.
And this is what I really love about Top Step with Top Step X. So your most active day, Wednesdays are typically my most active days. I take the most trades on Wednesdays. My most profitable day was yesterday, Tuesday. My least profitable day, Monday, $202. Okay, fine. 90 total trades, 358 lots were traded. My average trade hold time is 15 minutes. That says that we're getting into a trade and we're letting it play out and we're winning. Our average win is 16 minutes, average loss is 13 minutes. This could be better trade direction, which means we're going the direction of the move. We're not playing a lot of reversals, so 67.78% of the time. This is actually really good. Our best trade and our worst trade is almost a 2-to-1, so that can't be beat. Here's my daily. That's what I made daily. Here's my daily P&L, just looking at it as far as P&L. Like we looked at win rate. This is your trade counts. The majority of our trades, we are holding 10 to 30 minutes, which means we're letting a trade play out. That's actually a good thing. And then, like I said, back to here, we're $932 up, $705 up for the month. You look back at March, we were almost 3,000 up for the month of March. So, and that was leaving out what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days that we could have possibly traded. I'll take that. So that's where we're at. That's what we've been doing. This has been working. You tune in tomorrow, you're going to see me trade the exact same way. If you tune in any this week, you've seen we've done the exact same setups every day. And it's back to what my order setups are, right? We're watching our EMA is watching VWAP. VWAP just determines whether we go long or short. We do not look for any shorts as long as we're above VWAP. We don't look for any longs as long as we're below VWAP. Could you make money playing these opposite directions? Absolutely. But you put more risk on the table than you're needed. That's my point. So,
yep.
Your end is up. VWAP's going up. We're above VWAP. Why would I look for a short? If I'm looking for a short, it means I'm trying to top. I'm trying to time the top. And that usually does not end well. And the same thing goes for if it was below here, if it was trending down. Well, if down here, you're trying to time the bottom, which we could have timed the bottom perfect here, but that is not our strategy. So I can look at this and I have zero FOMO. Absolutely zero FOMO. If you look, though, it played out perfect. What do we do? Come up with break VWAP. We come back, we test VWAP, test, and then we bounce. Our entry, boom, boom, boom. You can't beat that. I mean, that's pretty damn simple, right?
Well, and the strategy.
My VWAP setting is standards. Whatever, that's default. I don't change anything on my VWAP.
And the strategy is repeatable because these indicators show up every day. No matter what, we're going to have a zone to play on. Now, it could be 10 points. It could be 100 points. There's going to be a zone that we have to draw in the morning. There's going to be VWAP that's going to fall in between that.
Yeah. When you asked about stops, Roy said it perfect. So if you're trading off these EMAs, you have built-in stops. You can, if you have here's the 8, all right? Well, if I enter the 8, I could put a stop right below the 14, or I could put a stop below this little cluster right here, which I would probably put the stop below this cluster, because if this breaks down, the odds are we're going to continue to go down. If this holds, which my stop's down here, guess what? I'm still in that trade and that opportunity to go back up. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Roy.
No, not at all. Exactly right. I mean, that's what I was going to say is these EMAs can be your guidelines, and they show up again every day. It's not, and then we'll probably go into more detail in another session, or even today if we want, is how we incorporate volume into all of this as well, right? Some big candles are not equal to other big candles.
You're trying to let me. You want me to talk. So I always keep volume here and what you're looking for. So let's look at this candle here. See this big volume candle here. You had volume that was declined, a little higher candle here. This gave you another indicator. You had a couple spots. This is where we entered. This is something else I looked at that I probably don't say enough. This volume was high. The reason why you would stay in this trade after you entered, even on this red candle, this volume came down. So this means that you did not have more sellers step in to push it down. They were actually pushing down to look for a price, look for buyers. Well, guess what? Decreasing volume, you still see it. They're like, all right, we're going to push it down one more time, and then we're going to see. Well, what happened this next candle, this next volume? Look at the volume. That was your second highest, third highest volume of the day on this big green one. What do? They push it down again. Like, hey, we're going to push it down. We're looking for buyers. Are you still there? Lower volume. Well, look what happened the very next candle. Higher volume. What'd it do? Rip back up. Volume is underrated on what to look at when you're trading all this stuff. I forget about it a lot of times because I glance at it and know where it's at. I just look and I don't have to think about it. And I think that's what has made me a better trader now than what I was younger. Used to I have to think about everything, what it was doing. Right? Where are we here? All right, let's think about this for a second. Now let's think about this for a second. Now let's think about this for a second. At that point, I've already missed my trade. Now I can do boom, boom, boom. All right, I like this entry in it that quick. So you train your brain on your system that you're doing, and your brain almost becomes like AI or like a robot, right? You see it, you glance, you enter here, and you don't hesitate. And that's learning your system. That's owning your system, right? If you own your system, you know exactly where you're getting in. You know exactly where your stop's going to be. You know exactly what your risk is and what your reward is. That simple.
Yeah, I mean that's it, right? When what you'll find is if you don't have a system, and let's say your first trade goes against you, your first trade normally, if it goes against you, it's not very damaging because you're probably following some sort of guidelines. It's going to be that next trade that gets you because you're breaking your system. You're now chasing the loss. Nobody likes to see red in their account. So you want to erase that feeling as fast as you can. You got to manage your emotions, and by managing your emotions, you got to be confident in what you're going to do. Look, we struggle with it constantly. We still struggle with it to this day. It's not like we've mastered any of this stuff. We're getting better each day, but last few months or whatever, you could have probably a handful of times we went on tilt and blew up months of work. So it's just, but every day we show up, we stream, we talk, we fine tune our system, and you have to keep fine tuning it. And,
I can guarantee you 2 months ago, after I took this payout, I probably would have blown this account.
Yeah.
Just because mentally, we had a system, but we were fine tuning that system. So we had a lot of moving parts in our system. Today, we have 0 moving parts in our system. Our system is our system. And me and Roy's worked on this. We're not identical, but we trade very similar when it comes to the system because we've put a lot of time and effort into developing the system. Now, is this system unique to everybody else's? No. There's nothing you're going to do here that's going to be groundbreaking, earth-shattering shit, right? Somebody has done this before. This is what pisses me off with ICT. They take stuff, you're going to get me on a rant. They take stuff and then they rename it like they just invented it when it's the same shit we've always done. Hey, fair value gap. Guess what? That's an order block. That's a supply demand zone. It's the same shit. You're just finding it a different way. And it's not news. It's not. You can go back and study. So, what's the dude's name? Shit. the one that pretty much invented TA. What's his name? It's a strategy that they use. There's a book. Oh, what's the book? I'm drawing a blank here now. This is gonna drive me crazy till I figure it out. The Wyckoff strategy.
Ah, yeah.
Wyckoff in the 20s or 30s wrote a book about trading. In the 20s or 30s. And he was doing TA and think about this. This is the 20s or 30s. And this shit still happens today. 100 years later, we're still doing the same thing that he did 100 years ago. And it was all technical analysis, looking at levels, looking at zones, figuring out what it was going to do. And Wyckoff is known as one of the greatest traders ever to trade, right? There's books. You can go look at books on that he wrote that the Wall Street. Hell, he invented the Wall Street Journal. He's the reason he started the Wall Street Journal, putting this shit in, wanting people to read it and see what they could do, because he thought people were not taking advantage of being able to invest long term. Well, we're using that same stuff today, so it's nobody's come up with any groundbreaking, earth-shattering shit. It's the same stuff. It's just how you implement it, how you see it, and how you use it is all it is. I'm not going off on my big round. I want to go off on. And damn, Take Private Trader went with you. Their headline on their email today is Trump's Liberation Day. I refuse to call it Liberation Day. I'm not going to do it. I'm not doing it.
But it's all about marketing, man. He's the greatest marketer of all time.
He is a damn good marketer. There's no.
Maybe not all time, but he's up there. He's a top 5 marketer.
Yep.
Probably is all time. I don't think of a marketer that made himself president of the United States twice.
Right.
Which is anyway.
So now we were going to call it 30 minutes ago, and we went on a rant. But great questions. I love to answer your questions. When you have a question, it gets me going. I know it gets me on other topics, but it kind of gets me going on everything to kind of what we're looking for. So, and you can see now, look, we're getting this move up. But what are we doing? We're getting decreased volume.
Yeah, tide is wow.
Yeah, tide is blah right now. It's not saying you can't continue to trade this. You just got to be a lot careful when you get into this lower volume, right? Because the market can move a lot of different ways, a lot easier with less volume in the market.
Right.
I've regretted my not taking this thing a few times now, but I was on my rant. I couldn't really pay attention to it. So it's better safe than sorry. So I didn't try to trade. I just did add everything up. 1760 for the day. Thank you, nice. Manuel.
Thank you, Emmanuel. We appreciate the participation. And again, any questions, anything you have, we're an open book. We'll explain it. We'll tell you what we don't know. We'll tell you what we do know.
And if you put a comment on after we're done live, I typically see it late because I don't look at YouTube a lot. So I don't look at our YouTube a lot. We say that. And then I get an email, and it's usually a few hours after you've done it before done that. So if you do ask a question, like when a stream's over with, something like that, and you don't get an answer from us and you're here, ask again, because odds are I might have missed it. Michael, I caught your stuff just because it popped up and I saw the email and it was a couple of them together. So I was able to answer yours, but I don't spend a lot of time looking at the comments once we're done. I don't like watching myself after we're done. I hate to hear myself. So I think Roy goes back and watches some of these streams sometimes. I never go back and rewatch a stream. I'll leave it there. Yeah. I was telling him I've got a video. One of my first videos I did has got this is not a lot, but it's got 118 views on it, which is nothing for a lot of people. For me, that's a big deal. And I refuse to go back and watch it because I'm sure I sounded like shit back then. And my strategy's changed a lot since then. That's when I was strictly using Fibonacci.
Yeah.
So I probably need to. I wouldn't say I'd go delete it, but I think there is still some useful information there if you want to trade Fibonacci. I think that I give Trading Wars a lot of credit, and I learned a lot from him, but I think I was pretty damn good at trading Fibonacci at one point. Roy came about for it.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty good on a lot of stuff with it. So, but I've went away from that. Do I still look at Fibonacci sometimes? Absolutely. And if you looked here, let's see what it would have played out. Well, it would have came back in right here, right in our golden zone. That would have been an entry right here.
Hmm.
And once it moved, started to go back up, you'd have got in and rode it back up about where I got in anyway. So I don't really need Fibonacci to tell me what's in because I see it. I know here that we didn't have a 50% retracement, but I knew we had a good retracement. This would be a good entry spot. And well, look at there. That was a great entry spot. I was out taking a break from Roy and his 5-day moving average. So that's what happened there. But anyway, I think that's all I got. I'm ready to go get some breakfast.
Go get some breakfast. Good job, man. Awesome day.
Thank you, Roy. Thank you, everybody that showed up today. We will be back tomorrow. Tomorrow is our Friday, though. So just know we do take Fridays off. We do trade on Fridays. We just don't stream because we just need a break from it's not from you guys, but we put a lot of pressure on ourselves to make sure that we're giving you guys great information. And having 3 days off from streaming kind of gives us a mental break where we can just relax and do our thing and then get in and get out. I mean, I think last Friday, we were 15 minutes. We were together for 15 minutes and we're done for the day. That would have been a shitty stream, 15 minutes. So
yeah, and we are human, right? We need that little break to make sure we're recharged again.
Yep, absolutely. But thank you guys, Michael and Manuel especially. I'm not trying to just point you two guys out, but you guys the last couple of days kind of gave us a breath of fresh air in here, kind of asking questions that we hadn't been able to talk about in a while because a lot of the same people have been watching us, and that's nothing against them. It's just that they kind of know what we do already, so they don't ask a ton of questions about that. So the reason, I mean, you can ask Roy, the reason we started this thing to start with was for education purposes. So when people ask questions and they're learning from it, that feeds us and gets us going. So it's not about the dollars or the wins or losses. It's about what you guys learn on this stuff. So I appreciate you guys hopping in and asking so many questions. It's been great. So Roy, I think we're done now.
They were good. All right.
So we will catch you guys tomorrow. Everybody have a good rest of the day, and we'll see you in the morning.
Appreciate it.